Let's go, baby. Friday.
Let's go.
Let's go. You're wearing your pajamas today again, Eric?
Not that casual.
Not quite that casual. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR show.
Let's go. Let's go.
Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose an offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. We are here in studio today, high above the DNVR Bar in the corner of Colfax, New York. The single best Denver sports bar in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no question about it. By the way, tomorrow night, Timberwolves Saturday night game. Yeah. Timberwolves would not be the worst night to come down and support your favorite Colfax establishment. Hope to see everybody there. Great show for you today, man. I've got some Jokic. Man, we've just been sitting on Jokic takes for a while. We're going to talk about that. Preview the Timberwolves game. Peyton Watson going to Klutch. Talk about that. And then some Nuggets Thunder talk. A little early. We got to preview their game coming up in 4 months. Harrison wins over here.
And we got that game tomorrow night, too. Timberwolves game. But like you said, yeah, come down to the DNVR Bar tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. You never know what's going to happen Friday night at the DNVR Bar.
Well, even on a Saturday, you can never know what's going to happen.
It's a Saturday. That's very true. Today's Friday.
This is dad days of the week. There is no weekends. Every day's the same. It doesn't
Saturday,
matter.
Tomorrow,
which is
going to be
Saturday.
a great time.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be here. Come on down.
I got D-Line Co in the house.
That's right, guys. And I can't believe it's already that time. It's already that time. Can you believe it's already that time?
What time?
MVP conversation time, dude. We're in the middle,
Really?
dude. The talk is
heating
heating up.
Wait, who's in the conversation?
A lot of people.
Tough to say, but the conversation has begun. That's what I know.
I got to find out when the straw poll. I got to see when that's coming around.
Actually, probably pretty soon.
Probably a couple weeks away. Maybe a week or two away
from first straw poll. Nice.
In all sincerity, man, we didn't have a show. We plan out our week ahead of time, just the schedules for everybody's lives and studio space. But I found myself yesterday just dying to talk Jokic.
Yeah.
Just dying because that game was so great. We didn't get to hear Eric's thoughts after the game. I just wanted to bask in it. And then, that's a joy scroll night. There's some nights that are late and you're just like, I'm not going to bed because I'm going to have to joy scroll. And I was disappointed that there was not more Jokic content. I was like, yeah, I have to make it.
I know. It is the thing, yeah. Every time I get home, I'm like, there's no cookies? I have to make the cookies.
I have to make the cookies. That's how I felt. I was like bummed that I was the one that everyone's going to because I was like, I want to go hear everybody else talk about Jokic.
Right. It's not right.
I did feel like there was a little Jokic bubble, though.
Oh, dude, we're in one right now.
We're definitely in one. There's some articles being written. There's some content being made. The pods are talking.
The pods are talking.
The pods are fired up right now. They're talking Jokic. So there's a little bubble.
There's a big bubble. There wasn't any immediately after the game in Adams.
Right. Yeah, like when I went home.
In his refractory period, there was nothing to calm him down.
That's a little too accurate of a metaphor here. But that's
metaphor.
But that is exactly what it was like because it's such a late game. I mean, it's funny that arguably two of the best games of the season from Jokic happened at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern as a tip time and 10:30 Eastern time.
What is happening?
And so that's why when you get home, you're like, oh, everyone's asleep. That's why nobody's talking about this game. Let them wake up tomorrow.
Half the country probably didn't watch.
But I'm going to go ahead and go just full reckless mode, you guys. First of all, this is a take I haven't seen yet. Maybe I have to put it on Twitter because nobody watches or reads anything anymore. They just go to Twitter. But one of the most annoying storylines of Jokic's entire arc happened last year in the playoffs that Alex Caruso shut down Jokic. We all know that was the front line of defense for a team that said, we're going to throw all of our bodies at Jokic to try to stop him.
On
Jokic, because they kick it out to all these other guys, Russ, CB, PWAT, whatever. That doesn't matter. They're not going to beat us. And they were able to get away with it. You know who else was able to get away with that is the Los Angeles Clippers. And if it weren't for Caruso having 2 games against Jokic that were somewhat impactful, people would talk about Zubats and look at Jokic, as good as he is in the playoffs. That first round, he wasn't quite as dominant as we remember. But last night was perfect Because even the Clippers got a little too high on their own supply of like, hey, was it Zubats that shut him down?
Right.
Why don't we try this one-on-one? Last night was the ultimate. Nobody in the league can guard Jokic one-on-one. Anytime he ever struggles, really for the last 5 years, or when you were able to sandwich him to doubles and triples and Denver couldn't make you pay for it. When you try anything else, you get 55 points on your head.
It's a great place to start. Nobody can guard Jokic one-on-one. There's nobody. There's no matchup. There's no defender, no depoy. There's nobody that can even rattle him.
Well, you mean nobody can shut him down, but you can make it difficult.
No, you can't make it difficult.
Absolutely not.
It's a walk in the park. Every game he's guarded one-on-one. Doesn't matter the defender, the team, the scheme, or one-on-one, forget about it. But it was also evidence in that Clippers game the other night that the defensive strategy that was effective against the Nuggets last year might not be effective anymore. And that's the biggest takeaway from early on this season. You can't run that defensive scheme against the Nuggets. They have other weapons to hurt you.
Because the Clippers were able to do it last year, so why would they go against it other than they're like, we can't double because he'll just have 14 assists.
That's exactly right. I mean, it is funny because there does seem to be a grand reawakening to Jokic's greatness, which I find both refreshing and extremely obnoxious. Like we have to do this all the time where it's just like you forget and then you're reminded. We're in the part of the season where I was talking to you about this right before the bright lights began. It's funny because I'm seeing all these think pieces crop up all over Twitter and everyone's like, oh, man, Jokic is so good, and he's not athletic, and he can't.
But you know what? He even doesn't even like basketball as much as he like horses.
He'd rather spend time with his horses. This is all the stuff you're like, yes. Why do you have to leave and then come back every year? Like you have to leave and then come back, and then we have to. I mean, Jokic's last game just has the entire NBA. All the pods in a chokehold. Like really, it was just such an impressive game from so many angles. Yeah. What you're talking about, like there's no counter to what he was doing. I mean, frankly, like if Jokic can hit that level like consistently, it's just like, what is this? It like doesn't even make sense what he was able to accomplish.
I don't think anybody's going to guard him straight up again. I think that might have been the one time anybody ever was. They're like, all right, that one crossed that out.
That doesn't work. But it's like even when he was just even before he got an opportunity to be guarded, there was a lot of like he was trailing the play coming in, just knocking.
It was everything. Yeah.
I mean, there's just to behold that game from Jokic is to. It just breaks your brain. You're like, what is this? And then here come the think pieces. The pods are on fire.
Well, here's the thing though, and where I'll disagree with you politely, and that I do think that you're right about they're coming back. You know, we do the arc. You're right about all of the silly things about he doesn't even look it, but you don't watch him. All those things. But here's the thing, man. The goalposts keep going further.
Oh, of course.
Or I shouldn't call them goalposts because these aren't goalposts. These are more. People would be like, he's the best player. He's the unanimous best player. There is a lot of talk about top 10 and even some talk of, is he just the best? Like I know. Because some of the conversation that I heard a lot over the last 24 hours is, I don't care where he finishes, whatever. He is the most dominant offensive force I've ever seen. Yeah. And like, okay, maybe you'll take a LeBron, and I don't want to say where he is in the top 10. And it's almost like the out defense we just don't know about. But it's like, if you just say yes, but even offensively, Michael, LeBron, Steph, whatever, Jokic is better than them on offense. That's a concession, or at least people are positing it. They're not saying it with their chest, but they're positing it.
Think pieces.
Yeah, that's in the think pieces.
That is further than people have ever gone. And to me, I'm kind of like, yes, welcome into the waters over here.
Yeah. Yes. It does feel like best offensive player of all time is now firmly on the table for this season. He could have that crown this season.
Well, what's hilarious is this is what the numbers like.
Exactly.
It's so funny, these advanced metrics, which 8 years ago everybody hated.
Don't get into the graphs and the VORPs and schnorps.
His sophomore year, he had this advanced metrics that were like, well, according to Box Plus Minus, he's actually the best player in. But we all know he's only playing 23 minutes a game. If he plays more, it won't happen. That was when he was at a 10 Box Plus Minus. And then he got it all the way up to 13.5. And people are like, okay, it says he's the greatest player ever.
Flawed statistic,
but it's a flawed stat. But he is good, though. He is good.
Good player.
He's at 21.
I know.
It's so,
what I'm saying.
It's so broken right now that it's literally like, yes, nobody has ever been close. He's twice as good as Michael Jordan according to these metrics.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, whether you think they're flawed metrics or not, he's not cracking them. He's shattering them.
Yeah. I mean, again, this last game has broken the matrix as far as people's understanding of basketball is concerned. Like we were up, it was like 3 days ago that we were all, the pods were sure that this was Giannis's year again. Luka came out. He had this. I mean, it's just it's crazy how the ebb and flow, and it's just the nature of 24/7 talk cycle about basketball. But like, it is wild, like where people are now going, because this game put people in a place. We're at the stage one that we get every year. Is he the best center? Is he the best passing center of all time? Okay. Right. And then we go to, is he the best center of all time? How does he compare to Hakeem? Where is he? Is he better than Shaq? Could he score on Shaq? And then, but now we're getting to the thing where it's like,
could the Morris brothers beat the Jokic brothers?
We have to go somewhere afield.
But point being though, is that Jokic has set this benchmark very early, which is new because this is when the talking points are established. Right. And this is not, they are not accustomed to this because generally we're in BJ.
Yeah. We might still be. We don't realize
we're not. No, we're not. No, dude,
are you sure?
We are not in BJ, dude. Like BJ has been abolished. There's no more BJ. There's no more Santa. And Jokic is just making people rethink what they think they know. And it's crazy and it's funny because again, like it'll ebb and flow because Jokic, I shouldn't say Jokic won't do something. He might score. He might do this every game.
Do you think he's still above the MVP conversation?
Yes.
Meaning he can't win it because he's above it?
No, because he lost. He was, once you've been wronged, you're back in.
You're back in.
Oh, so he's not above it.
Here's what
he's in
Bill
it.
Simmons put this out. This is such a classic Bill Simmons take. He had legs on yesterday. They were talking, and he said, because I think he was at that game.
He was
in
at
LA.
that game. Yeah.
And he said something to the effect of like, Yo kind of has this thing about him where he almost has a chip on his shoulder. Like maybe everybody's talking about Wemby and Giannis and all this stuff, and he wants to prove it. And I don't think Jokic cares about the MVP conversation, but I do think Jokic in his heart believes he is the greatest player in the planet, and nobody's in his class. Not like he's the top of the top tier. He's like, no, I'm in my tier, and then there's some really good players. And he's never said this. I'm just projecting a little bit here, but I do think when he said that, I was kind of like, I don't know that that's his motivation, but he does carry himself that way.
And Bill also was like, maybe he still has the Clippers series from the playoffs last year on his mind. I don't think it's any of that. I'm with you. I think he does have this quiet confidence that he carries himself with every time he walks on the court. He knows and expects to be the best player out there by a decent amount. And I think that's just like his mindset right now.
My thing with Jokic, though, and this is really why I headlined it the way I did, like players have their skills, their positives that they're really great at, and he has more than anyone. He just has so many things he's good at. But then you have your weaknesses, and over the course of your career, you try to plug the weaknesses. I think Jokic has plugged on offense all of his weaknesses that he has. I don't think he has a single weakness. But what's different is, and I thought that's the final form. Okay, he has no weaknesses, and he's really good at these things. But Jokic is getting actually better at things that used to be weaknesses and then were holes that were plugged. He's building mountains on top of the former holes so that now three-point shooting, I mean, that first game, he's only at 42% this year. You might be right, Eric. I'm actually coming over to your thing. He might actually be a 45% three-point shooter now because he's taking, I have a video coming out, the list coming out here right after the show. He's taking different kinds of threes. And it's like, you only do that when you're like, my three is dialed. He used to be weak there, then he was good. Now it might actually be a strength. And there's so many of those face-up game. There's so many of those things where I'm like, no, he's just really good at this stuff now.
Oh, brother. I mean, I believe that Jokic's ultimate power resides in his wrists. Like, I think he has some sort of
it's strength.
But he as far as his skill, like.
But I'm saying, is it strength?
Passing,
is it flexibility,
control
or
over
is
the
it
ball?
like
He has fine motor skills in his wrist that are so precise,
elite wrists.
And when his wrists once we start to see him wrap his wrists, is when he starts to lose effectiveness.
Sure.
right now he's feeling good. He's looking good. He does what, I mean, the superpower that Jokic possesses that he has talked about is that he's able to make the ball go exactly where he wants all the time. And you pair that with the idea of knowing where the ball should go and then being able to make it happen. And then, you know, he's become like Dr. Manhattan. Do you know from Kale, what is that?
That's from
The
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yeah, I do know him.
The Watchmen, where he's just
blue
like,
guy.
he's this blue man that he's just, he's possesses all of the power, and he's so bored by humanity. He's so unbothered, and he just like wants to get away because everyone's so bothersome to him. And this is Yoke. He's just like goes out, he just wrecks the world. When something amazing happens that everyone wants to celebrate him for, he's like, yeah. He just like walks back to the bench. It's just, and I think the other thing that we're seeing about Jokic and his psychology this year is that, and it stems from the thing that he keeps saying, or we keep harping on, is that he doesn't want to be thought of as effortless. It's not effortless what he's doing, because I think he wants everyone to know, like, he wants to dispel this idea that he doesn't care about basketball. He just doesn't care about basketball in the stupid way you care about basketball.
Cares about it a lot.
He doesn't care about these GOAT conversations. He doesn't care about this. Like, he would see the title of this podcast and be like,
annoyed.
oh my God, shut up, dude.
Totally, yeah.
But he can do whatever he wants. He's in just such supreme control, and it's wild to see.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think he also looks at it as like, yeah, I could take Wilt.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So there's
That's
like,
what
it's
I mean.
a little
Like,
give and take.
no
but
one can stop him from doing what he wants to do.
we got to take a break, but there's more of this on the other side, as well as we got to talk about this Timberwolves game because it's getting more interesting with some of these injuries that have popped up.
Red Hawk Roofing, best roofers around. Denver's best roofers in the world. For my money, go with the pros at Red Hawk Roofing. Get your roof checked once a year. Preventative medicine for the home of your dreams that you pour your life into. Make sure you're covered. There's also no project that's too small for these guys. So if you got a big project, a small project, home, business, whatever it is, give them a call. 720-771-8921. Tell them we sent you. redhawkroofing.com. Free no obligation roof and property inspection. Free in-depth photo report for all inspections. They're our people. They're the homies.
They're the
Presenting
Jokic
sponsor of the
of-
Next Chapter documentary. Yeah,
Yeah, they're the Jokic of roof.
they are.
Roof
They can
roofing.
do whatever they want. Out
Whatever they want.
Yeah.
They can put a shingle wherever it needs to go.
redhawkroofing.com, 720-771-8921, and tell them we sent you. Also, shout out to our friends over at Game Time. If you need tickets to concert shows, sporting events, the Game Time app is your go-to. It's the only ticketing app I use. It's the only one I've got on my phone because it's both the easiest to use and they tell you the best tickets right when you log into the app.
Go see the GOAT.
Go see Jokic.
That's the
Nuggets
best ticket in
tickets.
sports right now, man. It truly is.
Go see the GOAT, man.
Avs tickets, Broncos tickets for this weekend. Big game coming up. Get them on Game Time. 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Fees are always included. What you see is what you pay. They also have Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DNVR. $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Alrighty, back here, segment 2. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I got a edition of the list coming out, and guess what? Spoiler alert, it's on Jokic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just about how
No
he's
pods.
scoring. And like I said, I break
yeah.
down the film about things that I think are at least a little unique about how he's being so effective right now offensively.
And shouts to Melvin Light, who just joined the supporters club.
Yeah, Melvin.
Oh, my guy Melvin, man.
Who doesn't want an emoji of the GOAT's head?
Melvin Light is also a great name.
Everybody does.
I said this on the All-NBA show. By the way, again, me and Legler spent like 30 minutes on Jokic on Wednesday, so you should definitely check that out. And then me and Jason Timpf today did a little bit on Jokic just because that's how interesting he's been. But I made this case for him. LeBron in 2019 or 2009 reached one peak. It's his like statistical peak. And it looked like, okay, is this the best he'll ever be? It was early enough in his career. And then he had another peak in 2013 with the Miami Heat where efficiency was just becoming a thing. You know, guys, like it wasn't even something people thought about. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to really focus on being an efficient. Wins a championship. It felt like, okay, that's apex LeBron. That's the best he'll be. Then he plays in 2016, 2017, 2018 on the Cavs. And I thought game 1 of the finals against the Warriors and a losing effort in 2018 was LeBron's single best game, or at least as good as he's ever played. But it was different. He manipulated the game more. He understood the game more. He just controlled each possession more, even if he was less athletic and physically dominant or whatever. And I look at Jokic and I go, I thought maybe 2023 would be peak Jokic, like in a certain way. I wonder if we're right now in the 2013 LeBron portion of Jokic's career, which is sort of like, it's weird to say he's more dominant than he was because he's had some of the greatest playoff performances of all time, and not one or two, like 20 of them. But it does feel like he is at this new, more in control version of it. And it makes me wonder if 5 years from now, I just don't know if he's going to drop off. He might be more like LeBron, where he's dominant for 12 years, but in different ways throughout it.
He's kind of already that like his game is evolving. Like he's like the thing that I like the most about him this year is his mental approach to the game and how he said as much. He's not arguing with the refs, but seems like a small sort of trite thing, but I think it's
kind of just symbolic of his mindset.
But I think it speaks mountains about where he is mentally. And I think a lot of it is like, he realizes in a lot of ways that he can't control everything, but he can control everything. And where he can start is with his own temperament. And you can, in years past, you were able to get, maybe you meaning not necessarily even the opponent, but just things could bother him, and it could be off the court stuff. It could be maybe Michael Malone that was bothering, or this, that, or the other, like not calling the right things. Or we would see him pout. We would see him like take a stand.
Less pouty Jokic than ever before, man.
He hasn't been pouty at all. There was one game where it was like, and I think it was the first game where we were like, yeah, well, it's BJ. I mean, what are we gonna do? But we haven't been talking about that.
I'm telling you, in hindsight, he just missed threes. It turns out we should have all been shocked that he missed that many threes, because he should have been like 7 of 13 given the shots he got.
He's just he's just like so quiet, confident, and pleasant in a way.
Well, the LeBron comp is interesting because LeBron going from Cleveland to Miami went from a team where he had to do everything. Yeah. He was kind of Jokic last year. He was the center of everything. It was up to him every single night. If he wasn't God, the Cavs were going to lose. And then he goes to Miami. He has Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and a better supporting cast, and a better system, and a better culture, a better coach, and things change. And he can approach the game a little differently. And he can really zero in on just making the right play and the efficiency and just being dominant every single possession, because he had the teammates, he had the support system around him. I wonder if that's Jokic last year to this year.
Maybe it is, but it just, to me, the best metaphor for me is just that he used to have strengths and weaknesses on offense. Then he had strengths and neutrals. And right now, even the neutrals are becoming strengths, and there's just nothing you can do about him. Face-up game. They're getting him deeper post position.
The face-up game is awesome now.
But he's had this face-up game for a little bit. I just think it's better. It used to be like, okay, he was not good at this. Now he's good at it. It's like, now he's kind of great at it.
Well, it was almost like him settling for the jumper was worst case scenario for the Nuggets. Yeah. But now it's like he's hitting that shot every time.
And dude, again, this goddamn game he just put on film. Yeah. It's like, not only was he making it, but it was the net was splashing violently. Like it was like going through without touching any part of the rim. Yep. It was just like, what is this guy doing? Like,
well, you know what happened? What happened was Jokic did that in the first quarter, scored 25 points, but they were only down, 6 or something, or 4. And I just think they were like, yeah, this is it. We're right. Like Denver kind of blew it just enough that they were like, we're fine with him doing this. And then the third quarter happened and they're up 20 and they're like, okay, we were wrong. We just made some shots. And
the bad bench stint in the first half actually kept the Clippers on their strategy.
100%, man. So it's just incredible. But my take, and I've had some takes in the past on Jokic that I've hedged, like I've said, like, this is what I believe, but I'm going to hedge it so people don't run with it. I don't care if people run with it.
Run.
I think Jokic's as good as any player I've ever seen, and I just am not afraid to say it. At the end of the day, you have to win. Like, the greats are only separated now by how much they won, and to be fair, Jokic's won less than all of the players I would compare him to, and his career's still ongoing. But I just look at it and I go, LeBron was my favorite player for a long time. I watched all of his best years. Jokic's better, man. Jokic is just at least as good on offense. I think better on offense. And he just impacts the game and is in more control of the game than anybody. And then you just add the touch. It's like, yes, LeBron was more athletic, but Jokic doesn't miss. Like there's a difference between I can get to the rim and dunk it more often than most guys versus I can make the shot from anywhere. Right. Jokic is just as good as anyone I've ever witnessed. And time was going to just tell where he finishes all time, but it's like, I don't care, man. I'll take him.
I know with it. See, the issue is that we are locked into long standing, hotly contested. It's like a holy war that we're like dipping our toes into. And like what it's been based on is rings. Yeah. Like, and that's, it's Michael Jordan versus, I know, but but it's like, now having watched LeBron James at his zenith, at his absolute apex, you're like, God, that guy was unstoppable, but like he wasn't unstoppable like this. It wasn't unstoppable in a way like where it was just like bull in a china shop kind of stuff.
LeBron always had a weakness that was his jump shot. Yeah. And I mean, he got red hot sometimes, and like obviously a lot of his career just
became unstoppable.
It didn't matter, But that's not a weakness for Jokic like it was with LeBron.
He's just unbelievable, man. If Zubats can't hold him below 55 points, just good luck everybody else.
End the season, dude.
Let's talk about this Timberwolves game, though, because it is coming up tomorrow. And first and foremost, they're on the second night of a back-to-back for it, so it's a little bit weird. I think this would be the best win of the season if Denver gets it. So in a lot of ways, I would consider this like the toughest matchup they've had so far, partly because symbolically – and partly just because I think the Timberwolves are actually tough. They have Denver's number, even just outside the mental part of that. They are just a matchup. They're very athletic. So I think tomorrow is sneaky, like not a must win. Denver's built this cushion 9-2, whatever. But it is one of those ones where if they got it, I will think a little higher of them. And if they drop it, I'll probably think a little lower of them.
It would be the best win of the season by a significant margin, I feel like. Partly because it is the Timberwolves and partly because, they've been playing pretty decent as of late. They are 7-4, although they have some pretty weak wins looking at it right now.
This is the entire NBA now, man. It's so tough.
Their last 3 games, have you seen this?
It sucks because most
Utah,
of the NBA
Sacramento, Utah.
Utah, Sacramento, Utah. Yeah.
Those are their last 3 games. 3 wins. Their 2 wins before that, Charlotte, Brooklyn. They're okay. Okay, maybe I'll take that back about the Timberwolves. Have you seen they have 7 wins. I'm just going to list them all off. Portland opening night. Okay.
That's a good one.
Good win, it turns out.
That's a really good one.
Here are their other 6. Indiana, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Utah, Sacramento, Utah.
They have 1 good win.
Yeah.
How many does Denver have? I mean, I think the best win is at Clippers, but it's like everybody's beating.
It was probably the Timberwolves, but they didn't have
Anthony Edwards.
So that makes me believe maybe the biggest question about this game is: did the Nuggets overcome the mental hurdle of the Timberwolves in that earlier matchup?
Oh, and they might be shorthanded too. D-line. This is the other thing: is have not heard an update yet on Cam Johnson or Christian Brown. Part of me kind of expects them both to miss.
They're definitely both going to miss.
I would expect that too.
Christian especially. I'm sure of it. And I feel like, man, he said an arm straight. I swear to God, it's Cam's elbow. Not to be a doctor, but I don't care. If you think I'm a doctor.
Also, by the way, it's like you just from seeing him.
Well, he's wearing an elbow. He's wearing an elbow, and
something was definitely bothering him heading into the game.
Yes, sure. And I just feel like maybe that's been lingering. Because again, there is no explanation.
I mean, that'd be a great excuse.
There's no explanation outside. He can't. We're watching the game. I mean, we're mocking him. We're like, why is he? I can't think. I'm thinking too hard. I can't. The basketball. I can't stop thinking.
And it really is the shots. I put him up on Twitter the other day.
Always short.
I put up all 37 of his misses or whatever it's been, and you watch him, and you're just like, yeah, man, this does not.
No,
like if you didn't know he wasn't he was a shooter, you'd be like, is that guy a shooter? Right. And I don't know.
No,
if that guy's a shooter
at all. Yeah, you'd be like, can you pass it to a shooter like PWAT, please?
Yeah. So maybe you're right, and maybe he just needs a little bit of time off. It's funny because what did he say at Media Day? His game was 75. And part of me wonders if it's like the rap on him is he can't always play. He gets hurt a lot. He misses games. And I wonder if it's like, yeah, I'm going to show them. I'm going to play through anything. And now he's in there and he's like, sucks playing through an elbow injury.
Everybody thinks I suck.
Everybody thinks I suck. It's actually worse than when they just thought I couldn't be healthy.
Right. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, that's interesting. But I mean, who starts for those guys? They started Spencer freaking Jones in the second half against the Clippers. Do they do that again? Do they put PWAT in there? I'm guessing Tim Hardaway would start for a CB. That's an easy call. But a lot of interesting decisions for Adelman.
I think your default should be Peyton Watson and Tim Hardaway Jr. because it's almost like CB and Cam, but in reverse. Your 2 is your shooter and your 3 is your defensive guy.
Sense. Yep.
So to me, I kind of like that one. Plus, you play against an athletic team. I think you need athletic players. Right. PWAT has actually been good against the Timberwolves. I think he's good against teams that rely on athleticism because he's not intimidated by athleticism.
And his job would be guarding Edwards.
Could be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Even if it's Jaden McDaniels, although, yeah, you're right. It's probably Edwards because who else is going to take that
There's
assignment?
nobody else to guard him.
It's an interesting one. Let's take a break. We got to get back to this. More Timberwolves talk on the other side. Plus, speaking of Peyton Watson, he has a new agent. I wonder what that means.
It would be a good time for him to come up clutch. That's for sure.
Yikes.
Let's talk about Ent Credit Union, an awesome product, and our friends over at Ent Credit Union. They're offering Broncos fans, Denver sports fans, an awesome debit card. You can get the Broncos debit card. Every 15 swipes on your Broncos checking debit card enters you for the chance to win home game tickets to Broncos games. Also, you can get a limited edition Bo Nix Broncos debit card, 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field. Ent is the largest credit union in Colorado. They proudly serve communities all over the state. They're also the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos. So if you're a Broncos fan, if you're a Denver sports fan, get set up with an Ent Credit Union debit account. If you're ready to bank like a Bronco, go to ent.com/DNVR, ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Also, we got to talk about Bet365, presenting sponsor of this show. Hit that QR code right there on the screen if you're a new user. If you haven't signed up for Bet365, get on for tomorrow's game. Dev will be handing out the picks before Nuggets Timberwolves, and he's on a heater. Bro, he is on a heater, folks.
I got to tell you, man, like, people feel one way or another about sports gambling. It's so fun to put like a nominal amount of...
Just nominal amount.
Just a small amount, and then a unit on something that you're then like locked in on. It like adds a whole nother element to the game. You start counting out loudly every time there's a rebound or something. It's just... it's like if you like fantasy sports, it's like this is so much better in my opinion because you don't wait till the end of the season to see if you won $20.
Yeah.
It's an official partner of the Denver Nuggets, Bet365. Right now, you can get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet to get $5 and get $200 in bonus bet. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on spread, totals, player props, futures, and more, whatever the moment. Never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Back here, segment 3, DNVR Nuggets Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed on podcast app. You know what we haven't gotten in forever is a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
We get like 1 stars, things like that.
No, we're not getting 1 stars either, thank God.
We're just not getting reviews.
You're not getting reviews.
We're getting
it's like
unreviewed.
We're too established, I guess. But we appreciate
it's like
reviews.
Nobody's reviewing McDonald's. You know what I mean?
That's true. How is it? It's pretty good. Pretty consistent everywhere you go. I think this is a true test of the Nuggets' depth, but I think it's an even bigger test for Jamal Murray. If you look closely, you might notice Jamal Murray is almost exactly back to his career averages. We remember it was only a week ago. We were like, could he lead the Nuggets in scoring?
That was stupid.
It was stupid. I hated us.
But it is notable that he's getting back to his average at this stage in the year.
Yes, but it is falling. Is my only point here. Is he is at 22 points. Last year he averaged 21.4. Now it is on fewer minutes, so that's noteworthy. Mm-hmm. But it is like when you look at his last handful of games, 15, 23, 23, 14, 15. Whatever. I don't care. Nuggets are winning. I'm not going to complain about Cam. I'm not going to complain about any of this. Jokic turns out to be the biggest beneficiary of all this new team. But tomorrow to me is all about Jamal Murray because he is the one that Anthony Edwards does not respect. Right. Openly mocks, openly says all these things. And
most people, to be fair.
What's that? Well, that's Anthony Edwards. But I'm saying Anthony Edwards is not afraid. He doesn't think Jamal's a guy. I think tomorrow night, for me, they beat the Timberwolves. Good job. Anthony Edwards wasn't there. He's the one guy that looks Jamal Murray in the eyes and sort of just says like, yeah, no, not you. You're not that guy, pal. And so tomorrow, for me, more than anything, is all about Jamal.
I agree. I 100% agree. Going back to that first matchup against the Timberwolves, no Anthony Edwards. Jamal Murray had 37 points 16 of 29 shooting.
It's good. That's like a good table setter. You know,
It was it was an awesome game. Oh wait, sorry. He had 43 points. The freaking ESPN box score got me messed up. He played 37 minutes, 43 points. My mistake. But of course, that was with no Anthony Edwards. And we know from the times these teams play, Anthony Edwards likes to guard Jamal Murray. Yeah. He likes to pick him up full court. He likes to really bring the pressure when Murray is on ball. So it's going to be a massive test. He's going to have McDaniels on him as well. A guy whose length can be effective. But Edwards is the big difference in this matchup. Like, he's a presence defensively. Edwards, unbelievable offensive player. People forget about his defense a lot.
Dude, he's
an absolute menace defensively.
On ball.
On ball, for sure.
Yeah, he's just Anthony Edwards. I can't wait to actually see him. We didn't get him in preseason. We didn't get him in the first game. And I agree with you. Like, that was, in the last meaningful time that these two teams clashed, it was just shown that Jamal Murray was not on a physical level with Anthony Edwards, which you could know anyway. But like, I agree. Like, if we really think that this is going to be the year of Jamal Murray, he needs to start like slaying some of these foes, like Jokic does every year. Like, there's another Jokic stopper that gets crossed off the list. Like, Jamal Murray really needs to be like, okay, no, you can't guard me. Like, if you get right up into me, I'm gonna get around you, or I'm gonna find the right pass, or if you sag off me, I'm gonna knock a three down in your eye. Like, you just need to start worrying about me. But you're right. Like, in general, it is a weird thing because the Nuggets depth is such that it's like really beneficial to everybody, but like individual accolades, individual stats, except for Jokic, can be hurt by it.
What's interesting about this game, they play on December 25th.
I was going to say, you'll never guess who the Timberwolves play tomorrow or tonight before the Nuggets. The Kings.
You are completely disrespecting
I'm just like,
it deserves it.
I'm shook by this schedule.
The NBA, maybe they're trying to make the back half of the season just all the good teams.
The Timberwolves, their last 4 games will be Jazz, Kings, Jazz, Kings.
That is a very weird schedule. That is very weird. I will say though that I've been doing this obviously as I go through all these teams, and I'm like, this team is hot. Who have they beat? Nobody. And so there's a lot of that going on right now. And I wonder if the NBA tried to be like, get rid of all of our crap games during the NFL season. We'll have a really good January, February, March. The Nuggets play the Timberwolves for the 3rd time on Christmas Day. That'll be a marquee game, and they play them a final time on March 1st. That's going to be forever away. But given that Denver is already 1-0 and they went 2 years without beating them a single time, if you win tomorrow, I kind of feel like that's over. The Christmas game will still have meaning, but even if you lost that game, it'll just be like, yeah, Denver, the monkey is off the back.
Right. We won't talk about that anymore.
And I think if you lose that one, even if you win the Christmas Day game, it's like, well, that's a tough matchup for them. That's always a tough one. And so tomorrow feels almost symbolic where it's rare that you can actually eliminate a negative narrative, but I think they can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we've talked about this narrative. I mean, going back to post-championship, right?
Yeah.
That's when it started, 2024, I guess, after the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves in the playoffs. That was their toughest series that year. Everybody said it. Then Minnesota's had their number ever since. I do agree, though. They beat them tomorrow. Convincing fashion, unconvincing fashion, I don't think it matters.
Doesn't matter.
Just a win is a win in this scenario. I don't think we talk about that mental game anymore.
Yeah. And I really do feel like the page has been turned. I really think that we're in the next chapter. I mean, very aptly named by some group of people. Like, this is just, I don't think, like, they beat the Timberwolves. I think that was meaningful mostly for us, but I just think it's like, there's a bunch of new guys on the team, and it just, everything feels different. Everything feels new. Like, you don't feel like you are encumbered by the old narratives that were holding the Nuggets down. Like, we'll see, but I'm with you. Like, for us, the little people, I think if they beat the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, we can just sort of be like, all right, let's just focus on now the Oklahoma City Thunder exclusively.
Well, that does bring me to my next topic I wanted to talk about, which is in a year where there are some good teams. I mean, Houston's been interesting. There's Lakers. There's like foes, around. There's teams that can, bite you. Can get up and bite you. The Eastern Conference, whatever. It would be really cool if there was a collision course between Denver and Oklahoma City. And I don't think it's that far-fetched. I mean, if you just said, forget best teams in the playoff, forget about all that right now. What teams do you think are capable of winning 60 games this year in the West? To me, I don't know if the Rockets are capable of 60 games. I think they're very good. But they might be. They look to me like a 54, 55.
60 is a lot.
Well, the Thunder look like a 70-win team. So, I mean, I think they're just a lock to do that. Yeah. But Denver, there just might be a separation this year that we have not seen. Last year was Thunder and then a bunch of guys all right here. I kind of wonder if this year might actually set up. They don't play till freaking February. And I wonder if by the time we get to February, both teams have like a 4-game cushion in the standings. And everybody's talking about it as these two teams are destined to meet.
And they're like, oh, we don't want to show too much. And they bench people.
And the games are just horrible.
Play zone the whole game.
Both teams run none of their main stuff.
Oh, man. I hope that's the
72.
case. I really hope that's the case because it'd be just an awesome story to track the whole year. And it'd be great for the league. It'd be awesome for the league, for Denver and OKC to be on this collision course. 2 best teams in the West, arguably the 2 best teams in the NBA. And to have that established this season at some point, maybe it's midway through the year, maybe it's around the trade deadline, but to have that established heading into the playoffs, I think just would be awesome. It'd be an awesome storyline. I mean, I'm a little upset that the Nuggets and Celtics like never met in the playoffs going back a couple of years because they were kind of supposed to meet in 2023 and then Boston gets there in 2024 and Denver doesn't. But it would always be like, everybody loves parity. I'm a little less in love with parity. Like I love,
we want dominance.
I loved, Warriors Cavs. Like I loved the meaning and just the stakes and the significance of all those meetings in the finals. I would just love for like to get back to that a little bit. And Nuggets Thunder can be a little version of that.
Yeah, man. I know. This is like the new version of rings culture. Like they're like the regular season doesn't even count. Let's get to the playoffs, except for the Thunder. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We really do have to. I mean, it does feel like it is setting up, and we're obviously so far ahead of ourselves because we don't know. I
think it's an early narrative though, man.
Oh, it definitely is. But I mean, like, we've not seen the Nuggets truly be tested by really good teams. They played one and they lost in overtime, and they played another like marginally good team and they lost in overtime. But it does feel that way. Like you're setting up the narrative of the best player in the world in his prime going up against the super team with the really good player. And it's like, Bulls and Pistons and like all this stuff screw parity, dude.
Well, the thing though about the Thunder is that the Nuggets are getting all this attention and Jokic is getting all this attention. It's like, he's so great and the team around him is great and they play together and all this stuff. And the Thunder are the exact same thing. They have a great player in Shea. They play so connected and everything else, but they're almost talked about and treated like the Russian from Rocky IV or like an AI or something where it's like, well, the Nuggets are this humanized, they play amazing and they come together. Yeah. And the Thunder, well, yeah, but they're just a machine. I mean,
Nuggets
they don't even have their second best player.
Punching beef.
Yeah, it is. And that's what the Thunder are. They're winning by an average of 15.5 points and they don't have their second best player. You know how crazy that is. They don't have their second best player.
If that was us?
If we didn't have Jamal Murray and we're 9-1 with one loss, they blew a 20-point lead in the second half, but one loss and they're winning by an average of 15.5. Shea's missed 5 or 6 fourth quarters.
Yeah. I mean, Jokic has missed a fair amount too, but yes. I know what you mean. I mean, it's just like there is some part of like the way that basketball works. Like you keep adding really good players, but it doesn't matter because some of the players that are playing on the bench for the Thunder are playing to such a high level. Anyway, you're right though. It does feel like it feels like the Nikola Jokic, the algorithm, taking on the algorithm of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
The man whose mind works better than a computer versus an actual computer.
Dr. Manhattan versus the algorithm.
But the playoffs are different.
The playoffs are different.
We're already looking ahead.
I mean, that's kind of how you have to look at the Thunder because they're an unstoppable force in the regular season. They won the championship. Yes, they did. They also got taken to 7 games in the finals and, 7 games against the Nuggets too.
But you know what? Did you see Shea's comment about how the championship was almost unsatisfying because they didn't do it in convincing enough fashion? And like now that's the goal. And I actually love that quote. I actually thought it was amazing where I was like, yeah, man, it's like there's a humility in that of like, hey, we won. No one will ever take it from us, but we believe ourselves to be good enough to have won easier.
Yeah.
And now that we've done it, we want to prove that we can do it. to me, it's a really cool storyline. I'm just in love with the Nuggets and what they've done so far this year, especially outside of that first game. And then I look over and I'm like, Thunder are doing the exact same thing, but a little bit more dominant. And it's like kind of cool to be like, you know what? All right. We got to train ourselves to beat the machine.
We'll see you in January.
This is a little Terminator, like Terminator where he has to fight the T2. It's like the next generation.
Like we're turning over tires in the Serbian
Absolutely.
farmlands
We're running
for
up
our
the back
training.
going, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, when he punches the bag and it shows more force than
and they're just in
man
like
could
this
have.
hyperbaric.
But Oklahoma City, Thunder, they're running in a water tank.
Exactly. With Mark Dagnott. His Mark Dagnott is totally
chewing gum.
Dagnott's just like on an iPad.
Exactly. We've increased it. The testosterone levels, and now
we're running stairs at Red Rocks.
I love this. I'm so ready for this.
We're such underdogs. It's great.
You guys enjoyed the show so far?
Not really. Why?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty fun.
Right.
Decent show so far.
I thought we could kind of play a different note here.
Okay.
Because last night, and I knew this was coming, Peyton Watson has changed his representation from CAA now over to Klutch Sports. And he is in a contract year as he gets ready to enter restricted free agency. You guys remember, my bold prediction for Peyton Watson this year was that he would go from good to very good to great to traded. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know, what's right below a lock? What's the step right below a lock?
You're all in.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be traded at some point this year. Number one, we know Klutch. It's LeBron James's agency.
Really? How is that allowed?
It's very weird. It is a gray area, if nothing else. But with Rich Paul, of course. And historically, it has been that you hire Klutch when you need to leverage yourself into something new. I need to force my way to this place.
They are the leveragers.
The leveragers. And they have a lot of power, and that's part of what makes them so able to do that is they have a lot of big name clients. You can't disrupt that agency.
They really have a clutch over the league.
They have a clutch over it,
to their neck. It's like really like an ominous title that it's like oddly fitting.
Now, I think anything is possible here. I don't think anything is inevitable. But what I will say is that if you put yourself in Peyton Watson's shoes, forget about what you believe him to be as upside this or that. There's not a lot of money left for the Nuggets to be able to give unless they were committing him to take Cam Johnson's role, which I just don't see that happening. Even if they don't like Cam Johnson, are you going to pay Peyton Watson like a 4-year deal to be the starting shooting guard for years and years to come? That's too much of a risk, I think, for the Nuggets to commit to. And does he look around and say, yeah, I'll take a little like 2-year kind of a mediocre deal? I think he wants to go to I imagine he would want to go to some place that believes in him to fulfill his upside, not somewhere where they believe for him to be the bench guy we need for years to come. And because of that, I look around and say that Denver probably has to read the tea leaves and say, what do we do?
Yeah.
Do we trade him or do we just lose him in the offseason?
Or do we go through the drama of restricted free agency next summer, which I guarantee would be a drawn out process.
But if you got to that and it was a drawn out process, I can't imagine Peyton Watson being like, well, I hope they match. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I just imagine
Kuminga type situation.
Yeah, it'd be Jonathan Kuminga. He'd be like, damn it, man, they match. This sucks.
I think you're right in your read on like what PWAT might be thinking. Like he wants to go somewhere maybe where he can play more, have a bigger role for sure. What I would say to that though is, he played 27 minutes against the Pacers, played 24 minutes against the Warriors. He's averaging, like 20 minutes a game right now. Should he be playing that much more than that? He hasn't been that great these last couple games, especially. He's had some great moments already this season, no doubt. He's shown that he looks like a definite improved player. Does he deserve like that much more tick? I guess on a worse team, yeah, naturally maybe he'd play a little more, but like.
Yeah, you can't ask that of him. He of course thinks he's built.
Well, yeah, I'm just asking that of.
Here's the problem.
Everyone.
Here's the problem for PWAT is that he is looking to get a big bump in this version, the apron version of the NBA, where you have the ultra rich and the ultra poor, and it's like you have guys like Quentin Grimes, you have guys like Jonathan Kuminga, these mid-grade players that are good. But the way that it's structured, it's like you give out 3 max contracts on any team, and then you have the scraps that are left below. There's like, you can get maybe a guy at 20 per year, 25. Like that's what they just did with Christian. It just gets really difficult. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are like, all right, is Peyton Watson the guy that we want to pay that amount to? Because again, I mean, I just keep looking back at what Quentin Grimes just went through. He is,
good player,
in my opinion, a much better player than where Peyton Watson is now. I don't know.
Much older though. I mean, he's
I don't mean to say like speak in absolutes, because Peyton Watson obviously is getting better before our eyes. He's still a super young guy, and it's not unthinkable at all that he could turn into, I don't know. I mean, like, who do you think? Where do you think Peyton
McDaniels is the
McDaniels
goal.
Probably, right? Like, and how much would you pay Jaden McDaniels to be on your team?
A lot.
Well, here's some food for
Christian
thought.
Brown money.
Christian Brown is a guy that got a
exactly.
lot of money, and I think if you're Peyton, you look at this and say he started 1 game this year. 16 points, 7 rebounds. They won comfortably. He looked phenomenal, had 3 block shots and a steal. He looks at that and says, yeah, I start. And everybody just has to do their job. They get free points. And you look at it, he started 18 games last year. He had a 20-point game, 24-point game, 18, 15, 15, 15, 16, 13, 12, 10. He had double-figure scoring games. And I think, so you're not wrong about it. And I think this is a situation where I'm like, the NBA is not about one. Well, this guy doesn't see it right. It's like what's best for Peyton is tough because he has been put into this role and he hasn't really grown out of it in a way that says he has to play this on this Denver roster.
Of course.
But also Denver really needs him in this limited role that might limit his prospects going forward.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not that limited though. I mean, he's playing 20 plus minutes a game. He's one of the first guys up to spot start for AG if he's out.
He takes the 9th most shots on the team.
When are we
almost the exact same as Julian Strother, who doesn't even play every night and only plays smaller minutes? He takes fewer than Bruce, fewer than Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas, Christian Brown. 4.8 shots a game. You're right that he's out there, but I thought he was going to handle the ball a little bit more, ups and downs to that, but they've almost abandoned that mostly. Yeah. He's kind of back to being the lowest usage guy on the court, no matter who's on the court.
Right. But what he does is you've seen him really come in defensively and be a force. He's been he's been giving like ultimate effort, and he's been playing the right way. It's just like it's the difficult thing is that he's growing as a player, but in this mold of where we need him. He's I don't know how he exists outside of that. And I believe in his mind, he thinks that his ceiling is so much greater, and it absolutely might be.
Sure.
Like he's got so many natural skills, and he is a very young guy. He didn't play at all in college. He barely played at all his rookie year. He's just like now getting to actually develop his skills in the context of a professional basketball game and team. So, dude, it's a weird place, and it sucks because you always want a team to be rewarded for seeing talent early and buying into it early, but this happens a lot.
It does happen a lot. It's just natural. And honestly, Jeremy Grant left the Nuggets. He was averaging 12 points a game. When he was in Oklahoma City in a higher option, he was only averaging 13.5 points per game. He left to go to a horrible Detroit team, averaged over 22 points a game. Like almost doubled his scoring. Was it the right move for him? No, because I think we all know he wasn't worth that, and he got to do it for 4 years. He got to average 20 points a game. But he got paid tons of money, and some of the guys, they're looking at it and say, yeah, man, I just don't want to be that for that org all of this time. I worry about it. They hire Klutch. Clearly, Denver's going to now has to know going into next offseason, like there's probably not a great ending for that unless we're going to make him the starter. And they're just not on a trajectory to make that decision. There's a world where they could have, but through 11 games, I think we would have seen a little of that. Yeah. I just don't think it's coming.
And I Magic in the chat brings up the Zeke Najee contract.
Totally.
I wonder if we're going to get to a place where a Zeke buyout is really going to be onto the table, like that to free up that $8 million that he's making every single year. You think about that, and then supplanting it with a two-way guy, how much do you need to pay a guy? Pay a guy $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million to just sit on the bench. Young guys that you actually see potential. And Hunter Tyson too. Those are 2 contracts that are real contracts that are then making this conversation a little bit more difficult because they are sort of just taking money
and spots.
And that's tough. Like that's 2 failings of the prior administration.
And one thing I've seen people, because I put this out yesterday right when the news dropped, and one of the things I saw people say was like, we can let him go. We have Spencer Jones. And I both agree and disagree with that. I agree in that what's asked of Peyton is to be Spencer Jones. And so you go, okay, well, I guess you're right. Then if it's just going to be a versatile defensive guy, although I will say I think Peyton, like when you talk about guys like Kevin Durant, who Denver might have to have an answer for,
Sure.
I don't think Spencer Jones is an answer for that.
I think
Peyton
they're
is.
totally different types of defenders, kind of.
They are, but
I wouldn't say totally different, but it's not 100%. There's like some crossover and some not crossover.
But also, like, I think Spencer Jones is also at a place where it's like, I think we're going to see him get a lot better.
well, also, you have both now. This is like the KCP problem.
Sure.
Where, yeah,
Totally.
we have Christians. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if you could go to either option. Spencer and or Peyton Watson in the playoffs would be nice. But Peyton Watson has so much more of an offensive upside. It's just if Denver's not going to use it, then you actually might not be losing that much by going to Spencer Jones. If you're just asking both of those guys to get out of the way and stand in the corner and shoot 3 times a game,
True.
it's like, all right, well, that's not. I think it's a waste of Peyton, but
What do you think his trade value would be this year?
that's the other thing about it. Is there trade value for him? I will tell you one guy though. I have one trade guy.
It would probably take a team that, I mean, obviously he will try to go to a team if this does happen that will extend him.
Yeah,
So
of
that
course.
is
Of course.
the first thing that anybody would look for in a trade. The team he's going to would have to really like him.
Which, by the way, a lot of teams are going to tell you that, and then you get there and they say, "Never mind." I mean,
Sure.
shout out Bones Highland.
Sure.
This is how they treat you when they love you. Well, we'll find out. The last piece in this, you know who I thought? Because I thought if you're not going to, it's hard to trade a guy going into restricted free agency unless you trade him for another guy going into restricted free agency.
I know you're going to say
Your boy.
Tari
Eason also tried to get an extension from the Houston Rockets, was furious that they didn't do it.
Well, we can't
was
play
pissed.
Tari Eason, though.
Why not?
How would
we
the
can't
Nuggets
pay.
pay Tari Eason?
Oh,
not pay.
I also kind of wonder if there's a weird thing when things go sour. Like Tari's upset at Houston, Peyton could be
Sounds
upset
like
at Denver.
a 1-year balloon payment deal.
No, you just swap them and you lose. Both teams lose them, but they're like, well, at least they're not mad at us. You know what I mean? Like Tari gets here and is like, whatever. They didn't ruin my career. Houston did.
Right. No, dude, this is going to be weirder and weirder with the apron era.
I know.
Yeah, it's tough to pay guys, man.
I swear to God, at a certain point, they're just going to have like slots, and like you qualify for the 5th slot. And
Yeah.
that means you make this amount of money, and you qualify for the 6th slot. And
Dude, it's so true though that this is the ultimate. The boomers,
Dude,
the
it's-
boomer NBA players totally created a CBA that benefits them.
Yes.
and all these young guys like Peyton are getting on. They're like, wait, why am I not making it?
Yeah, there's
I'll
like
sign with Klutch. The
They're
guy who
literally,
does-
they're literally just erasing the middle class. It's just like it's just like the late stage capitalism of
They're like, sorry, you're actually only worth the same as every minimum player
right.
out
Like
there.
you can only make $50 million a year or 6.
Yep.
And there's nothing in between.
So true, man. We got any super chats today? I also love, I'll tell you what, the Spencer Jones thing is so funny because I love him too. I like Spencer Jones, but it's the ultimate backup quarterback thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like you guy plays for like 10 more games and misses 8 threes in a row. And I hate this guy.
But the
Right
one thing I
now-
will say is he's not coming in and just shooting hot. He's just like playing with maximum effort, and like he was shutting down guys we needed him to shut down.
He's been really good. I like Spencer Jones. I will say the thing won't be missing shots. It'll be fouling, like really
The
offensive
fouling,
fouls, which
I
he's
know.
already done a little bit, but it hasn't affected things.
Like I was just thinking they start him against Minnesota and he has 2 fouls in the first minute or something against Anthony Edwards.
And they're in the bonus
Yeah,
right away, and you're just
totally.
like, what the hell, man?
Totally.
Come on.
CJ Martinez, with the new All-Star platform, World vs. US, and only one World team, do you think that'll affect Murray's chances of being an All-Star this year?
I
We were
thought
talking about it the
the
whole
year
time.
Jamal
I think
Murray.
yes, because of Josh Giddey and the start he's having. If he continues to play
But
anything
he's
close
already
to
out.
this,
He's already
Bulls are
missing
falling
games,
off a
dude.
little.
Bulls are falling off.
yeah, he missed a couple of games, but I mean, it's not like
But
he's gonna miss
it's
a bunch.
early season. Yeah, no,
is early
It's
season.
early
Early
season where
season
the
narrative setting
narrative,
season.
and I will tell you that the
He's in the
narrative
conversation.
The narratives are the national narrative is already that Jamal's in shape and he's playing great.
You're right. You're right. That got set early, and it's like we just
but
coast
the other
it.
thing is that the NBA is, of course, better when the Bulls are good.
Oh
Well,
yeah, and
so-
the Knicks. Did you mention the Knicks?
Oh, sorry. The Knicks have also had a good season
Where's
so
the
far.
All-Star game at this year?
Probably fucking Intuit Dome or something.
I think yeah.
Oh, it is. It is into a dome. Yeah, you're right. It is.
It's not in the.
That's why Adam Silver said we're not going to have anything.
right.
on
It's not on
this.
the top of the Burj Khalifa.
That's next year.
Oh, okay, cool.
Colby Cheeser.
Cheeser.
It's wild that if the Clippers kept that game close and Jokic had to play the whole
I know.
fourth, this had potential of being a 70-point triple-double.
Brother,
Yep.
that's the I mean, it's been brought up. The fact that the Nuggets won this game, won Jokic's masterpiece, it just tells you we're like we're in a new era.
We got to go to overtime, everybody. Head us over to overtime so you can catch us
Yeah, dude. See us on the internet.
on the internet. Sorry, I had to cut you off. I thought you were going to be quicker. There it is.
And did you also see that Jokic said, acknowledge that it was the first time
Yeah, of
they
course.
won
He-
when he
yes.
scored 50?
He knows that
He knows
one.
about it.
Yeah, he knows that
Dude,
one,
but
man.
I mean, how encouraging is that? That they not only won comfortably, he didn't have to play the fourth. Any other time he's had one of these scoring outbursts is because they absolutely had to do it.
Right.
I will say nobody is ever going to that strategy again. It's absolutely insane that they honestly thought like, all right, we have a good defender. It's like he cooked Zubac so hard. I can't imagine any team being like, hey, we have a guy that can guard him.
But then, I mean, it's the year of Jamal Murray. Who's going to figure it out?
Hope so.
Sir Sketch got my mother watching the show today, trying to show her the glory of our God Emperor Jokic.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's
Welcome
going
to the show,
bar.
Miss Sketch.
Ask your mother what she thinks about my Dr. Manhattan parallel.
The thing I didn't like about Dr. Manhattan in the movie,
It was just naked.
He's really, it's like naked, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
they really showed it.
They really went hard on the wang. They did.
Yeah.
I guess we're in overtime. They went.
It was like very lifelike. It would like wave like when he would jiggle.
They could have come. They
It's
could have.
distracting. I was like, well,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But again, he's above it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, but I'm not. I
but
was
we
like, all
were
right,
not
well.
above it. We were below it.
we were well below it.
We
Weird,
got a super
artistic
chat
choice.
from Josh Barnett from Down Under. The fellas in the morning. What the hell is this? This is the show, man. 2:15 every day.
This is what we do.
I prefer the lumberjack pajamas.
Yeah, my lumberjack pajamas. From
What's
the?
the emoji of the week?
I think the emoji of the week is the
The
God.
year Jamal Murray hashtag OLWDO. Online with D-line.
I think actually the emoji of the week is the rotating. Like we're back. The pods are back to talking about Jokic.
Oh,
It's
the recycle emoji?
The recycler. Like
Yeah.
we're back, baby. They're like, have you seen Nikola Jokic? Do you know about this guy, Nikola Jokic? He's won. I'm told he's won the MVP before. It's insane.
Calvin Rabb.
Oh, it's such a good one.
Shout out
He's
Calvin.
So true, man.
Dude, Calvin Rapp gets it.
He gets it, man.
He absolutely gets it.
Kale, cue that outro music. Guys, new edition of the list is dropping. How long, Kale?
Probably 20 minutes.
20, 30 minutes. We'll have a new edition on the list. You're not going to want to miss it. Why? It's on Nikola Jokic, man. What more do you want? Tomorrow, come to the bar. Check out the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. Come talk to your friends. That's us. Should be a great night at the DNVR Bar. Hit that like on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.